G'day, have I got a story for you? Check the disclaimer. Season 1, Episode 49, Contemplations. Everything is pure white. This place doesn't seem to have a beginning or an end. There are no walls, ceiling, sky, floor or ground. What am I standing on? Maybe nothing. One thing I do know about this place. It's much safer here. I look around and know that even though they are unseen, I can feel where the exits are, so many of them. I know I can take my time choosing where to emerge, because time seems to have no meaning here, in this pure white place. Whether I spend 1 second or an eternity deciding on what I will do or where I will go, it makes no difference. The moment I emerge from this place, it will be as though time stood still, waiting while I decide, as though the whole world is frozen, waiting just for me. Even though that's how it is for me, I know that actually the opposite is true. The world's time does not change. Instead, my every thought in this pure white entry point takes place in less than 247 zeptoseconds, which is the shortest unit of time measured by humans. I think of some of the places I could go. The castle. It is tall and has many levels, and there are so many stairs, but they never seem to lead to the same place as last time I climbed them. It is the same with the rooms, and I never know which floor which room will be on, except the rooms at the very top. Everything looks so beautiful, so majestic, so regal. Exactly what you would expect to see in a beautiful castle. The theatre. Backstage there are so many costumes, all beautifully sewn, and no matter which one is chosen, it will adjust to fit that person perfectly. I sometimes just listen to the orchestra practicing. Occasionally I sit in and play along, especially if they are practicing one of the songs I wrote. I often choose a different instrument each time. The beautiful garden. It has a large rock pool that is crystal clear, making everything in the water easily seen. It leads to an even larger body of water with even more majestic creatures and plants. It's always sunny, but with no fear of getting sunburnt. And there's a cool breeze, but I am never cold. I can look up at the trees' branches gently dancing in the breeze, and other plants happily swaying to their whispering leaves. Everything is perfect here. The art gallery. Wide hallways and many ornate rooms filled with paintings. Some of them are so beautiful, and some are indistinguishable as to what they portray. I watch many people visit, standing around giving opinions and assumptions as to what they could be, or the meaning behind each one, but I'm sure that no one really knows. I like the pastel colour ones best, but they're on a different floor each time I attend, making it necessary to visit multiple floors to find them. The nursery. This is my favourite place. The babies are so sweet and I love taking care of them. Their bedding and cots are so pretty, and each one is a different pastel colour. The colours of the cots seem to match the temperament of the babies they belong to, if that's even possible. Many things are possible here, even though they are unlikely elsewhere. I've made my choice. As I emerge, I am greeted with many voices, all making lovely little baby sounds. As I look around the nursery at all the tiny expectant faces, I remember my baby on the surface. I hope he is okay. I am glad that the scientists are losing interest in him. The more they test him, the more they realize there is nothing for them to focus on. I ascertain that the less abilities and accomplishments during testing, the less scientists are interested. It is by far better to be like my beautiful baby, unremarkable in their opinion. I pick up the nearest baby to cuddle. These babies are so small and light, and so easy to lift. The cots are also tiny, so I have no trouble getting them out. I sit on the carpet, focused on the baby I am holding. I whisper in her ear how precious she is to me, and how much I love her. She falls asleep in my arms, and I put her safely in her cot. Then I pick up another baby. I repeat this procedure until all babies are sleeping peacefully in their cots, while I think about what has happened and how to better handle possible future events. I wonder what is happening on the surface while I am here, safe. I remember that the surfaces where I have died many times, they killed me on purpose, then revived me. But when I am there, I just don't remember. Even though that seems ridiculous, I know it is all true. When I try to recall the details, I get so close to remembering, but make myself stop each time. It seems like I'm not supposed to remember. Yet, does that make sense? Oh dear, I'm doing it again. I'm going to stop. I would rather not know. 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 Instead, I'll think about the time I'm beginning to remember now, being given berries, 12 of them to eat. They were bitter, but I had to eat them so my arm would heal. They had cut me so deep. Oh, I don't want to remember that. Why is it that whenever I try to remember something, it leads to something awful? Where are my good memories? Do I have any? The babies look so sweet, all snuggled in their cots. I hear someone's thoughts calling out to me. They sing like they are at the end of a long tunnel. I feel myself being drawn toward them. Almost there. But then they're gone. Was that Ambriel? What a beautiful name. I feel myself drift back. Oh, I am standing in the large pure white entry again. How did that happen? Where should I go this time? I have all the time in the world to decide. I wonder if the babies are still asleep in the nursery. I know that time works differently here. I instinctively seem to know where to go and invariably end up where I need to be. As I emerge, it seems like it's happening in slow motion. First, I see the beautiful shimmering lights as the flowers come into view. I stand still, inhaling their fragrance and listening to their lovely songs, each one different, but in perfect harmony with each other. I look around at the trees and other plants. It is a beautiful sunny day, as usual, and the gentle breeze brings with it such fresh, clean air. I turn to look in the clear water of the rock pool and wonder if the swimmers are here, but almost immediately can see that they are not. I hear my name called and turn to see Rosie, a lovely person, the caretaker of this beautiful paradise. Rosie takes my hand and guides me to one of the trees excitedly describing how she witnessed the baby magpies hatching from their eggs. I climb the ladder to the branch the nest is on, and the sweet mum, we call her Maggie, stands up and moves aside to proudly show me her babies. The miracle of life always brings tears to my eyes. I gently touch each one, letting them know that this is a safe place and they are welcome here. After being shown all the accomplishments of Rosie's gardening expertise, I walk quietly in the tranquil garden. I think of more and more things that have happened to me. I seem to be able to recall so many things that I previously had forgotten. There are so many awful things, but I try to recall the good ones. There must be some that are good. I remember sitting on the back doorstep at night with the dog, rubbing her ears and scratching the spot on her back that makes her foot shake. This is my good memory. She is a sweet little dog. She was the runt of her litter. Wait, how do I know that she was the runt? I don't remember ever seeing her as a puppy. The first time I saw her, she had just come out of the dog kennel under the tall trees and greeted me as though she knew exactly who I was, as though we had met before. When I checked her thoughts, she was thinking of someone who looked very similar to me, but she was much taller. I think she thought that I was that girl. The feeling was unmistakable. This little dog belonged to her. How did that girl send this little dog to me when I'm on the surface? Why does she send her? Maybe the dog comes of her own volition. But I still have the same questions. How and why? Dogs' minds are very different to that of people's minds. Their memories are stored differently and seem to be all jumbled up. It's hard to decipher through it all. It's much easier to just watch what they are thinking when they are thinking it. I remember watching the thoughts of little animals that I would often find in the bath on the surface house. I haven't been able to find out how any of them got there. Actually, I don't want to think about that. I look at the beautiful trees, plants and flowers as I walk through the garden. It's nice being here. The birds, bees and butterflies seem so peaceful. I wonder if the baby koalas will be awake. They are so sweet. I head towards their homes in the tall gum trees. Why is the little dog only there when the trees are tall? Why are the trees so small sometimes? And where does the dog kennel go when they are? It can't just vanish from sight, can it? When I check people's minds, why can't I find any information about this? It's as though no one has seen this happen, except me. Should I not believe my own eyes, like they say, and only believe what I am told? Am I seeing things that are just not there? I do, however, remember seeing things that were not there when they gave me those awful... But it was different. Those things I saw weren't there and had no thought, no feeling, no substance whatsoever. I knew it was all false. This little dog thinks and has memories just like other animals. She has feelings. I can sense when she is glad to see me, when she is cold, when she is tired. And she has substance too. She looks up at me thinking about how much she likes it when I rub her ears. So I rub them. I can sense that she feels relieved because her ears are often itchy and feel better after they've been rubbed. She has substance. I feel the weight of her head as she rests it on my lap. I feel her fur as I rub her ears and scratch the spot on her back that makes her foot shake. I feel the warmth of her body when we fall asleep on the back doorstep, snuggling together to keep each other warm. I can sense how grateful she is that I stay with her so she won't be cold, instead of going inside to that bed where I so often have to sleep. I remember wondering about the trees and the kennel when I was on the surface, but I immediately made myself stop, and I remember hearing my voice saying that I must not think of that. 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 What was that? Maybe it was one of those odd mechanical thoughts that they put in me. I don't like it when they do that. Where are those thoughts? Are some of them gone? Did that mind purge thing that they did to me remove some of them? Oh, here's some. Why would they want me to think that Nuala, the doorway woman, is actually Lola? She is from the front room of Blonde Man Vlad's facility. They are very obviously two different people. Just because they look identical doesn't make them the same person. They have a different way of thinking, they walk differently, speak differently, and they feel completely different. Lola is so sad, so full of sorrow, and has trouble keeping her thoughts on one thing for more than a minute or two. The exceptions are the smacking frenzies and the other horrid things she does, which all seem to immediately get locked into her mind, depending on what sort of rage she suddenly finds herself in. Nuala is not sad at all. She is determined. She sees herself as the Mangler's success story, wanting to outshine Fenella. She plans to make herself indispensable and surpass all expectations. Nuala seems more like a scientist, without the scientific knowledge. Someone who wants to be the one hurting others. Why would they want me to think that she's Lola? That's absurd. What other odd mechanical thoughts have they put in me? What is this father thought? Father. Am I supposed to think that the Mangler is the father? What an odd-sounding word, father. Not something the scientists really think about. Will he be farther away from me? Farther away than what? Do they mean father, as in the biological male parent? Surely not. I know I am not biologically related to him. I will never bond with that man, no matter what they do. I don't want to think about him. I look up and see the lovely koalas in the gum trees ahead of me. The little babies are so sweet, the way they cling to their mums. I listen to their sweet little grunting sounds as they call to me when they see that I am near. They are so high up in the tall trees. That must be a fantastic view from up there. Will I ever know what happens with the tall trees on the surface? Will I ever know why the trees seem to shrink, and where the kennel has gone when the trees are so small? Why are there so many spiders and bugs when the trees are big? I'm going to watch people's thoughts and memories until I find out exactly what happens with those trees. This is something I really want to know. There are other things I would like to know about that surface house. That space between the tall tree and kennel. Is all that I know about it really true? Why are we all not allowed near it? Could I go there? Should I go there? That high brick fence between the house and the side fence, is it really what I think it is? Where do those small men dressed in black come from, and how do they get back? Why do people deposit old wooden furniture in the backyard and logs and branches in the middle of that big area next to the garage? Why am I thinking of a huge bonfire there with many people surrounding it? Oh, I don't like it. The side fence behind the garage. Does something happen there? Or on the other side? I wish I could remember. The stump that appears and disappears. I don't like it. Does it have something to do with the back fence? I'm sure it does. What about the long side fence opposite the back door? The 3 little brick seats attached to the low front fence. What happens in the other surface house across the road on the left? There are also other things. Why are all these things awful? Do they really have something to do with Sleepy Man? What do they have to do with him? All he does at the surface house is sleep in the lounge room chair, doesn't he? Actually, I'm sure he does other things. But what other things? I'm going to watch people's thoughts and memories until I find out exactly what happens with all those surface house things. These are things that I really want to know and remember. I wonder if I will remember to find out when I am on the surface. When I am there, I seem to forget that this place even exists. It seems more like a dream. Yet I know I'm not dreaming. Where am I now? Where exactly is this place? Thank you so much for joining me for cuppa. I appreciate your company.